How do you ensure that you retain your customers and encourage them to bring more customers into the pool?
So let's realize that a satisfied customer is your best ambassador.
True.
Now, when I think of some of the global clients that we do work for, one global organization became the bridge for a bigger global organization. Now, so when I think about that, the way to get that to happen is to serve much more than one is paid for. Over deliver than the paycheck.
Under promise, over deliver.
Absolutely.
Over deliver.
Yes. So the paycheck may be X amount, but deliver much more than they offer. Give something extra to the point that you are in the mind of those who engaged you. And that becomes a key resource to set you apart from people that they have worked with in the past. And so for me, that's one of the things that I do.
Yeah. What are the other things?
The other things that I believe will help us is to constantly, and when I say constantly use emotional connectors. So for example, it is your client's birthday. Find a way to help them know that you care. A phone call is good, but instead of a phone call, how about a video call?
You're tearing my mind apart.
How about a video message? It goes a very long way. And I have used that to access the heart of a HR director of a global brand. Now, the point is, everyone, appreciates people who appreciate them.
True.
Let's not, get into anything that basically is dragging us into, that's point where we think stuff that we're saying is not important. You need to constantly be finding mind space in people's minds. And to be able to do that, do things that people would naturally not do. So I was in Nigeria and the year was coming to an end. And I knew it was the birthday of a client of mine. So I phoned their office. They said she'd gone on holiday to Canada. And I said to myself, what's the other way to get the message across to this woman? I don't know where she stays in Canada, but one thing that I did was that I immediately, on my way to the airport, picked my smartphone and recorded a video in motion and called her name, and she could tell, of course, when she saw the video that I was in motion, that I am on my way to the airport right now, but I just wanted to say to you that you are very special and I wanted to wish you a birthday wish. And I sent that video wish. I got the opportunity to fly the entire 25 members of staff of that company to South Africa for their next year-end strategy session.
Wow.
Now, what did I do? Just a video call.
Yeah, but it's a strong
birthday.
Yeah, and I like the phrase you used. Yeah. Emotional connectors.
Oh yes.
This is about selling.
It is.
Selling is largely about emotionality.
Very important.
Rather than logicality.
And people buy because of emotions. Let's not deceive us.
I totally agree.
I love a particular phone brand, and I've had the one before it. Now I have another one, and in my home, that's the way it is.
Because they were able to connect with you in one way or the other emotionally.
Absolutely.
So people buy largely, if not totally, for emotional reasons rather than logical reasons.
Totally agreed. And it's quite funny, there's something people say, no, it's not about emotions. Don't be sentimental. Business is not about emotions. Sorry, they lied to you. Business is about emotions. I will not deal with you if I don't feel that, there's some connection emotionally.
True.
If I feel that you don't care, or,
I don't like you.
Or I don't like you, I won't. So that's why,
prospecting, prospecting for customers or having customer retention or repeat patronage, one must take cognizance of emotional connectors and utilize it optimally.
Very important. Very important. People do business with people they trust. And when they trust you, then they know that you can deliver and bring more value, in that regard.
Now, let's touch more on this emotional connector thing. What are the other examples you can cite?
Now, I really like to use my own story as an example. And that's one of the things that over and over again I look at has become a key resource for me. In my career, the fact that I go the extra mile is a key factor for a lot of people. That's the one. The second bit of it is that when I go the extra mile, I do stuff that people don't do. If you do what you've never done, you get the results you've never gotten. So I don't do what people basically do. So for example, I'm going to do a team build. I want to know what the favorite color of the organization is. I embed that into my dress sense. Very important. Identity, loyalty, that helps them to recognize that this man is really interested in us. Then I do research about the brand. I know what is happening to them and what has happened to them. So I'm able to embed that into my presentation and not think that it's all about, me just wanting to give my regular speech. Another very interesting thing, something new happens to them or their brand. I see it in the paper. I cut it out. Write a letter, handwritten letter. Put it in the mail. Send it. They see that you took note of them, that you are not just interested in their business. They can't forget you. So those are certain subtle ways, and they are very cheap to do those things.
Yeah.
Certain subtle ways by which we sustain mind share and mind space in the lives and hearts of brands and businesses. And you will be amazed at how much business that can attract for you. Now,
Rather than advertising in traditional media.
So those basic things, some people would say, doesn't make any sense, doesn't mean anything. They mean a whole lot.
I agree.
They mean a whole lot. I mean, for example, right now that social media is active, I do videos to celebrate a person, and I put it on my own social media platform. So that person sees it. Other friends of that person see that, oh, okay, I'm celebrating this person, or I know this person. It helps them to want to identify with me because they know, okay, if you relate with this person, then you must be someone who is doing something very unique and stuff like that. So those things go a very long way, that it will only take your business further and further.
So relationship marketing
absolutely
is very key
absolutely that's
to success in this business. Relationship marketing.
Major.
So you don't dissipate your financial resources too much into traditional advertising and spending so much on events. Those are important. They are necessary. They are useful. But if you're a startup, for example, or even if you've been in the business for a long time, relationship marketing will help to catapult you to success.
So another very interesting thing that I do is that I get a video testimonial.
Wow, from the clients.
Absolutely. So what was it that you liked the best in my presentation? And as I sit in front of you right now, I have over 20 video testimonials from people around the world. People in Canada, the US, Ireland, Africa, Asia.
So it's like seeing is believing.
Absolutely. I mean, I can tell you that I have contacts in Canada. It's easy to say. But when you hear a Canadian,
you hear, you see.
Yes, you hear a Canadian, you see a Canadian giving feedback to a Dr. Joshua Awesome's presentation at an international conference. You know he's not talking or blabbing.
Yep.
You see an Irish woman giving video feedback for a Dr. Joshua Awesome. You know he's not blabbing.
Especially if there are people who are credible in their own rights.
Absolutely. You see a Chinese, giving a video testimonial for a Dr. Joshua Awesome after a conference. You know he's not blabbing. You see an American giving a video feedback for a Dr. Joshua Awesome. You know he's not blabbing. Because it's easy for you to write stuff and say, so said, and you put someone, you write USA or you write Canada. But when you see a video, that one is stuff you cannot fall.
So testimonials help.
Absolutely. And what does that tend to resonate. And I have a quote that came from my climbing of Kilimanjaro to say that it is people that enable people to succeed.